As a teacher, I have struggled for years to bring meaning to the story of Vietnam in my history classes. To my students, this is just another war fought in a land far, far away by some American somewhere in the past. I wanted to bring the war into the classroom, to give my students some measure of control and responsibility over their own learning. I wanted to make it real for my students. Oral history gave me that ability. I reached out to Dr. Barry Landman of the Martha Ross Center for Oral History at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, who in turn brought in the added support of the Maryland Humanities. I am not an oral historian. I knew the basics, but I wanted to give my students the best possible chance to create something they could be proud of. With Dr. Landman's expert guidance and the unyielding support of the Maryland Humanities, the idea of an oral history project became a reality. In a few short classroom visits, Dr. Landman was able to provide a practical foundation for the oral history process to my students, even as I provided the historical background of Vietnam. My students designed a series of questions, grabbed the school video camera, and invited local veterans. The results were beyond my wildest expectations. 2 years after that first set of interviews, we have donated 45 videos to the state archives, where they will be stored in perpetuity. Not only were my high schoolers able to interact with historical figures and get detailed answers to their own burning questions, but they were able to create a primary source document which will serve the needs of high school students and researchers in the future. An oral history experience incorporates many of the educational goals of the National Council for the Social Studies C3 framework, and in my case supports our Southern High School-wide signature theme of design, preservation, and innovation. Oral history can enhance any curriculum content a district may have in place and enable students to make authentic connections. It brings the real world into the classroom and brings the community together to support the student learning process. But most importantly, the students love it. They are so excited to speak to a veteran. They are invested in what they learn because they design the questions themselves, and they are enormously proud of the contribution they are making to history by creating a primary source. An added benefit is the practical skills they gain while conducting an interview, documenting their sources, identifying a storyline, editing their work, and developing working relationships in the community. I know that this experience will touch the lives of my students in ways that I alone never could. The benefits to this approach are unlimited, and the gift you will give to your students will last a lifetime.